Winslow in the house. I was going to use you for the podcast. I still might. What's up, Facebook? Brandon Orr here, Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe. Today I've got a special guest with us. First, I'd like to apologize for not posting him on the Facebook. It was short notice. One of our guys had to cancel. So today I called Winslow in, and he, without question, came here as fast as he could, and was willing to put in the service work to come talk to you guys and us today. I'm super excited to have him. Winslow, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Are you? You nervous?
Yeah, a little bit. Not too bad.
Yeah, shake it off, man. Yeah, shake it off.
I'll settle in a second.
Yeah. Winslow, he became a volunteer over at Recovery Cafe, and we seen him a couple times come in, and he was checking it out, and he came in and he asked me, he says, "What can I do?" And I'm like, "Man, whatever you want." Like, get comfortable, like whatever you need. He goes, "Well, what is it that you need me to do?" And I said, go. There was these two guys over here in the corner, 3 or 4. There's actually 4 in the corner. And I said, "We don't know who those guys are yet." And like without question, he turned around and he went and helped him and just talked to him. And I watched that, and I never got to thank you for that. So here on live, I want to thank you for that. That was pretty amazing.
It's my pleasure, man. Absolutely.
So, yeah, right? Yeah, it goes both ways, dude. It goes both ways. How have you been doing lately?
I've been good. I've been awesome. It's I'm in a like I just feel like during this whole COVID thing, I got kind of isolated, and I wasn't getting fed. I felt, and I started going to the Family Christian Ministries just recently, about the same time I showed up at Recovery Cafe.
Yeah.
And I just, I was done. I think God was speaking with me, because there was things going on in my life that He was answering and addressing for me, and I was just trying to be obedient and follow, and I used to walk the guys from the Mason House over past Family Christian Ministries, and I thought, I need to go there. Someone just called me, and because I was going to Grace for a while, and then that shut down. And then when I heard you guys opened up at the Family Christian, I just started going.
Yeah, you have.
And so I'm not missing it. And then God's got me going. My life's going a different trajectory right now, and it's really cool because I'm so grateful. And so I'm doing really well right now. I love being a part of the ministry down Recovery Cafe, and seeing what God's going to do at the church that I'm going to now. So
yeah, I'm
super excited, man.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I've been watching you for quite some time. I helped a young lady one time, and we're not going to say her name on here, but I called you. And I'm like, "Well, what all support do you have?" She goes, "Well, I have Winslow down at the Ark," and I'm like, "That's the 4th time I've heard this guy's name. Like, I've got to get down there and know who this guy is. Like, I have got to go figure out who this guy is, because so many people in our community." You've been doing your job for how long now?
11 months.
And think about how many people you've already touched in 11 months, right? Like, that really solidifies exactly who you are, what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go, and who you're trying to be within yourself. And within that 11 months, like a lot of people have, you've helped a lot of people out, and you go above and beyond quite a bit. And another cool thing, that I don't see a lot of, and that, to each their own, and God bless everybody, but like, we had the round the clock 12-step meetings.
Yeah.
And when I seen you show up there, I was like, wow, like, even in it's, you're still doing something for your recovery.
Oh yeah.
How long have you been in recovery now?
I'm coming up on 4 years. August 18th of 2016 was my clean date. So
August 16th?
August 18th of 2016.
Oh, August 18th, 2016.
Yeah.
We got a birthday coming up.
Yeah.
Woo! You got one coming up, boy.
Yeah.
What challenges have you found in like with balancing your job with your recovery?
The challenges I have with that is when we're working at the Ark, and I give of myself a part of myself to people. And I think that is the connection that I like to give, so that people know that I care, you know, and that they're important to me. If they're not important to anybody, at least they're important to me. And I want them to make sure that they know that in a real, palpable way, you know. And sometimes I get exhausted, you know, and it's at the end of the day, or, you know, and I know that they don't like this, but, you know, I answer my ARC phone at 2 a.m. I got people calling me, and, you know, people say, well, at 5 o'clock, I hang it all up. I don't hang anything up.
It's your life.
It's my life.
Right.
It's they're the reason why I do what I do.
Right.
It's easy for me though. I mean, it's simpler because you know, my children are grown and I live alone, and so other people, you know, they have kids and they're married and they got a life, and I get them. I got a life too, but they're important to me, and so sometimes just, you know, having the time and the energy to then focus on myself, and then seeing the people at the meetings that I go to, you know, I'm still trying to give there too. And so it's a delicate situation, and I've learned how to just be do self-care and take care of myself too. So I'm learning that, because I got a little codependency issues.
Right now, yeah. I mean, we're survivors of addiction, brother. I get it. Like me too. I'll call Stephanie just for Stephanie. La, 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 la. I'm like, if I can't find my wife, Stephanie, she's my best friend. You know, like And I have codependency issues. I get it.
So yeah,
is that just like us?
I think people who work in recovery, I think generally speaking, they do. I think to some degree or another, I think that we learn to have to balance that, you know, with our personal life.
Right.
I mean, I remember calling Stephanie at 7 o'clock at night one time, several times. I got somebody in my car, and I just, you know, took him. I'm off the clock, and I take him to the pharmacy to pick up prescriptions. I took him to the hospital, trying to find him a place to live. It's freezing cold outside. Right. Yeah. And, you know, so yeah. But you know what? That's what the guy needed.
Right at that time. Yeah. Right there. Right then and there. And I bet you it was a little bit of what you needed to.
I'm sure it was.
You know, or you wouldn't have done it. Right.
It helps my recovery.
Right. I get that. Oh, I feel like you were just talking to me, and I would feel like that's exactly what I do with my life too. Like, I can't stop. You know, Stephanie, like one time when I decided to get into the recovery field and really implement my life into helping people, I don't think I was real aware of how much it can take out of you.
Yeah.
Right? And Stephanie and I, we both go through like phases of like we're a little broken at times, you know, like it's hard to see all the good come out because of one little mishap somebody had, because our heart's so into that, into every person, you know, individually. But it's like sometimes Stephanie and I'd be like, Stephanie, look at the board, you know, or she'll be like, Brandon, do you remember what you told me 2 days ago? You know, and it's like we have to remind ourselves, like, we have, you know, hundreds of people that we are helping that are getting it, but it's just who we are to totally take a pause of all the good things because we want to help with that one bad thing somebody's going through, and when they don't want the help, it's like, oh my God, please just take it, please take it, you know. I guess that's just, you know, part of this field is you take the good with the bad, you know, and you just do exactly what you can with it, not let go of what exactly what the big picture is. Right.
There is one.
There is a big picture, man. You know, and that's
we see a small part of it.
Right.
And you know, whatever that part is I just want to do it, be faithful.
Right.
In what I do, you know, and just be obedient too.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Obedience. Whew, it's better than sacrifice. I'll tell you that right now. You know what I mean? It is, man. But, you know, and I want to let you guys know that if you guys have any questions for Winslow's or comments or whatever, go ahead and give a free shout out. Feel free to just say what up, do whatever you like. Another question I want to ask you is, I think it was New Year's or Christmas when I first seen you come into the cafe, and were just observing. You were taking it all in, and I think I was behind the solid line, and you were asking, "What is this?" Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is this? And I, to the best of my ability at the time, because I didn't know that this was going to be my life at the time in the cafe.
Right.
But it definitely is a part of my life. And I told you exactly, what my feelings were about it and what we did and how we did it. And then like a couple months later, we seen you come back. What was your first take on the cafe when you walked through the door?
I was a little just because it was a different name. I thought it was an actual Road Recovery Cafe had its own building, and so I was a little confused a little bit. So I didn't understand that you operate under or on the premises of Road Organic Cafe.
Yes.
And so not knowing anything about that, I also had spoken with another lady in the 12-step community who was telling me about the Recovery Cafe, and that intrigued me a lot because I felt like maybe it was something that I could be a part of in terms of getting something for my,
being fed,
right? Not taking away, just something for my own recovery,
right?
Because I also had just moved here from Grants Pass, and so I was still trying to network and meet people and just get to know people. I mean, I've worked in the Medford area before, but I didn't know a whole lot of people. So
right.
And so that was part of it. And when you told me about it, I thought this is exactly what I need, for myself.
Right.
And even when I came that day,
yeah,
for the orientation,
that was a big deal.
I raised my concerns because I heard about the intimacy of groups and stuff like that, and so I thought, you said, what, you're just gonna get involved.
Yeah.
And I thought, and so I'm getting fed that way.
Right. And that's. I wasn't going to come down to orientation that day because there was a couple people who needed my attention up in the cafe while Stephanie and Tony were doing orientation that day, and something really I know what pulled me down there, and I came down there and Tony was talking to you, Stephanie's husband, and I can see like there was a conversation going on that I needed to be a part of for some reason. I just super nosy, you guys know, it's just who I am. And I went down there and you were talking to me about that, and I think I brought up when you first went to your first 12-step meeting, what was your first service position?
I served coffee and
right,
cleaned up tables and put chairs away.
And how did you feel after that?
I felt great.
So that's all you need to do here, right?
Yep.
Like, let's start back to the basics, right?
Yeah,
and I felt like that would be a good part for you. And you showed up every day since, except Father's Day, because you had Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
And you've shown up, and we're just so glad to have you.
I'm just looking for my name on that board with the cleanup duty. I keep so I'm not on there yet. All right.
So put your name on there.
Oh, I'm supposed to write my name?
Yeah.
Oh, you put my name on it.
If you'd show up during the opening process, no, I'm joking. Yes.
Yeah, I'm a little confused as to what time exactly to show up. So
you should have been there Tuesday when my name was next to everything on.
Yeah.
The
So on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday. So what it looks like is a lot of the times, because ever since we reopened, it's been a little different down there, and we're having to start back fresh. And Tony goes down there the other day and writes Stephanie's name on 8 things and then my name on 2. And then I'm like, well, Stephanie's going to be here all night. Tony, do you have something to say about this during the opening segment of what we do? And and everybody was like, no, Stephanie can't do it. And then started racing, putting their names up there real quick. But yeah, so when we open up, you just go and sign your name up there and what you want to do. That way, like on Tuesdays we start at 9 o'clock to close, and then on Sundays we start at I totally forgot what time, 6 o'clock to close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we just get busy like that. What do you? It's gonna be tricky.
Yeah, I'm ready. I've settled down now. So
I can tell. You feel a little more comfortable,
yeah.
more relaxed.
Yeah,
good.
More relaxed.
How do we? Let's talk about stigma.
Okay.
How do we go about changing the stigma in our community about addiction and recovery within itself? I've been waiting for that question for the right person, by the way.
Yeah, I think that I think the only way that we could, not the only way, I mean,
I think you got nervous again.
yeah, well, I'm trying to make sure I answer, correctly.
Right.
And
This is a
give you an
serious
honest-
question.
It is. You know, I believe in the goodness of people. I believe that at the basic, in our basic innate nature, I believe that people are good. And I mean, everyone's got talents, intelligence, beauty, strength, courage, and who are we to play small with those gifts that we're given by God?
Right.
Everyone has them.
Absolutely.
Like kids, have you seen kids in like kindergartners? I used to teach Sunday school to kindergartners.
They're crazy smart.
And they boast in such a humble, innocent way. They haven't been beat up by life yet.
Right.
Okay. And we, as we grow older, we either because of somebody else's fault or our own demise, our own choices, we get to the point where those qualities that we were born with get squashed.
Okay.
And we buy into the lies.
Yeah.
That we buy into that, and then we start believing stuff
And
that is not
investing in
true. Yeah, and we invest in it, and we have a role. It's not everyone's fault, People have a role. So, I think that we were all created to manifest the glory of God. That it isn't within all of us, and some of us, particularly people in addiction, have lost sight of that.
Okay. I get that.
For some reason or another, I did a lot, and as a result of that, I did a lot of things that I ever lived to regret. I've hurt a lot of people, but I think that if we can just demonstrate to the world that we're just people,
They made one or two bad mistakes. We're trying to make up for it.
We're human. We're just human life, and we want to just embrace that nature in us that is from God.
Right.
And if we could just somehow, there's no difference between an addict and a person who's never been an addict of one shape or another. It just showed that.
Except for what's on paper.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, on paper, but what's inside of us, the qualities we have in our soul and our heart, they're the same, and we're the same. So I think if we can just bring people to embrace that reality,
Educate them.
and walk into your life, man. Walk into it.
Yeah.
Let go. I fell in love with recovery more than I did fall in love with the crap I left behind, man.
Amen.
And when you walk into recovery, and that's the challenge I have sometimes. People is that they go back. I'm like, they haven't fallen in love with their new life.
Right.
And they still want to hold on to that back there. And I do my best to try to instill hope in people. Because that's the only thing we have, bro.
No, you're not wrong. That's all we have.
That's all we have. And when you have nothing else, that's the one thing that you have.
It's hope.
So I tried my best to help them. Look, this life can be good.
Not just good, but great.
Great.
And the reason I asked that question is because I feel like stigma almost took me out of the game early on. And I'm not talking about recovery, I'm talking about working in the recovery field. I went to a conference where a lot of people in the community were at, and when I walked in, I was the only person there who had suffered from addiction. And I was asked to go by my boss that I used to work for, and at the time I was like, when I walked in, I was like, what the am I doing here, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't let it hold me back.
Yeah.
And my brain told me these people aren't gonna aren't going to even think I'm validated or even should be in the same room, right? And what I did was told myself that actually my boss, her name was Ginger, she was kind of cool about bringing me up in this stuff. She goes, the life you used to lead and the life you lead right now is what qualifies you to be in there. If you want to be in this field, you need to get in that room. All right, so I went in that room and I kept my mouth shut and I just listened. And that was over a year ago. And I've been to every one of those meetings except yesterday. And I tell you what, like, those guys believe in me now. Yeah. So it's like, it's all about the education behind it. I really believe, not everybody fully understands addiction and what stems, and some people have their own belief and have your belief. Please have your belief. I don't want to take anything from you. But if you guys ever have a chance to just talk to somebody in recovery and really get to know them and what they're about and what their dreams are and what their hopes are and what they or who they could be, give them a chance. You might be freaking impressed because the people that I get to sit with today, I never thought in a million years I was qualified to sit with them, and now I know that I'm overqualified, and I don't hold nothing back. And I feel like whoever needs to hear that right now, I really want you to internalize that. I really want you to hold that in and really know that you're worth it, that you can do anything you put your mind to. All it takes is for you to believe in you.
Absolutely. I'm not going to get credit for this quote because someone else said it to me just today. On the other side of fear is the life you want.
Bro,
so
that's just what I just said.
Exactly.
That's it. Bro,
that's it.
So get out of your comfort zone, because nothing good inside it grows, you guys. You can't be a shining light from sitting on your couch inside playing Warzone. You know what I mean? Like,
that's
get
kind
out
of fun
though. Yeah. I love that game. But what do you do for self-care?
I right now I'm in a master's program
What?
in counseling. Yeah, I'm in a master's program to get my degree in counseling.
Okay.
So I know that reading 300 pages a week is in this textbook and studies is not really some people's definition, but I enjoy academics, so
I guess going for your master's, you better.
I write a lot, which sucks, actually I type a lot. I used to write when I was in college. You write your papers and you type them on a typewriter. Now, back then.
Are you good at typing?
I suck at it.
Right? You can hear her over there looking at us and typing. She's just so fast.
Yeah, it's like, how do you do that?
Trust me, I ask her that daily.
I'm trying to incorporate 2 other fingers with the others. But,
so let's get back to your master's degree.
Yeah. So anyway,
that's awesome.
So I'm involved with that, and so that's keeping me busy. And then I go to the gym. I also like to climb. I go to Roxanne, Table Rock, and I do a lot of things. I spend a lot of time reading.
Right.
I like reading.
You like hiking?
I love it. Roxanne.
Climbing, hiking, same thing. I guess I'll go ahead and promote this. When's our hiking?
Friday, July 17th.
I'm there.
And August 8th.
And August 8th.
Which is a Saturday.
I'm there.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We're doing that here at the cafe. You guys come down. We're going to do that.
There's a place out in Grants Pass. It's beautiful. It's the falls. What do they? Out past Galice.
Umpqua?
No. That's Roseburg.
Oh, that's.
Someone will know. Type it in or somebody.
Come on, you guys. We need the answer.
It's you go past you park and you go past Galice. You go past Murphy and then Merlin, and there's these falls, and it is a hike, bro. I mean, yeah, and it's slippery and wet.
You got the legs for that. I don't. I'm gonna do it. No, I don't want to show them.
Anyway, but yeah, it's beautiful out there. It's a long climb, and there's beautiful falls.
Get into nature.
Yeah. Anyway, that's
what you do for self-care?
Yeah, sometimes I'll go out there, and I'm also a grandfather, so I love my kids, and I want to be, oh my gosh, my grandkids, and like my grandsons, Dre and Dax.
Nice.
And,
Dre and Dax.
Yeah,
I like that.
They're not Mexican names. I'm like, come on.
She gets to name her kids,
yeah,
Dad.
That's right.
She gets to name her kids, not you.
But you know what? They're so cool, man.
Right.
They're just so cool. I love
Good personalities.
Oh
Man, the kids these days with these personalities are crazy cool. The note just checks out, doesn't it? How easy is it for you to obtain your goals today than it was in early recovery?
Oh man, much more focused. It's a lot. It's not simpler because I push myself to set my goals.
Push your envelope a little higher.
Yeah, and I try to do the you have to, it has to be obtainable, right? I mean, you have the pie in the sky thing, but I really want to make it measurable, something that I could attain, and that's tangible, and that whole SMART thing, but that also pushes me. I mean, that's it's a much more focused now than I was before. Sometimes I'm still a scatterbrain, but I was just aimlessly going wherever I could go, and I was lost. I really was lost. Especially just before I got into treatment. So,
where'd you do your treatment?
At Adapt in Grants Pass.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shout out to Adapt. What's up, you guys? Yeah. Thanks for all your help out there. Appreciate that. One more question. First off, I have like these really great questions for you, and I can't get over the fact that you're in a master's program, dude. I didn't know that. That is so freaking cool. Have you been doing all your schooling online?
Yeah, the master's program is online. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So out of where?
Grand Canyon University. It's a Christian university out of Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh wow.
So it's all online, which is different.
It was already online before COVID.
Yeah.
So, right on.
So I started back in July, and when I started working for the ARC, and I thought, this is I love what I do. I love what I do. I mean, I had a great job before this, and it paid really well, but I hated my job. I mean, I love the money.
Right.
I called it golden handcuffs. Right. I didn't want to leave, but I wanted to leave. And the only thing that kept me there was the money.
Right.
And but when that blew up in my face because of my addiction, I've kind of floundered for a little while, for a long while, and then I ended up at the ARC, and I'm so at peace.
Right. Right on, dude. Look at all this we're learning about him today, huh? Does anybody have any questions out there for him or anything?
Nothing yet.
Okay, good. So, first of all, I just want to say thank you for taking the time.
Absolutely.
To come here today.
Thank you for asking me.
Yeah. I had a plan to ask you, but I'm going to ask you again.
I'm humbled.
I'm going to ask you again once we start this other project we're going to do. I've got a few people in mind for the other project. Stay tuned, you'll see. Before we wrap this up,
I have a question for you.
Oh, I love that.
What is it that you're in your role here as interviewer? So how do you what is your what do you get out of that in terms of how you use that in treatment or recovery? So
how do I get what?
By having some people here.
What do I get out of this right
here?
Uh-huh.
And how does that help you? And
I get a few things that really matter, and a few things that matter all around, and then a few things that matter to me. So all around, I get to know I network, just like you said. This is how we network. This is a good way for not only myself and Stephanie, but other people out there to really find out who we have in our community that can really benefit the most from. Who can we benefit the most from? Who really needs this? The other part is the connection piece. We started this during COVID-19. Okay. We started this so we can keep connection, because what's the opposite of addiction? Connection. Right. So we started this to keep connection. It's worked well. We've got over 33,000 views. We've got a lot of feedback. Yeah.
Short that you've only done it for a few months.
Yeah, we've only been doing this for about 14 weeks or something like that, and it's worked out pretty well. One other thing, as a whole, it really puts out what we're trying to do as a community by sticking together with different people from different places and different walks and different looks and different aspects, whether you're a believer, you're not a believer, if you're AA, NA, no matter where your walk of life or recovery leads you, I want you on this couch so the world can get it out, because not everything is for everybody,
right?
But everybody needs something.
Absolutely.
So that's what I get out of this as the whole. For me personally, it's quality time with somebody.
Yeah.
You know, I did not know, like, I could have probably went another 3 months and didn't know that you were in the master's program. What the F? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I knew you were doing cool shit, but like, that's just like, you know, something more for me to, like, you know, more knowledge is more knowledge, you know. I also get, like, I had Kara on last week, and I just was spiritually filled by hers because she did her testimony online. And then I've had, you know, people in my lineage come on, and it just, you know, I learn more about them. So it's all about, you know, building a connection with somebody, a personal connection with somebody, you know. And to me, we didn't have many things go on during COVID. We were pretty much shut the F down.
The cafe downstairs?
Yes.
Yeah.
We were doing everything on Zoom. So as long as we stood, I sat back here, keeping 6 foot distance.
I saw one where you did one with Alan.
Yeah.
He was sitting here, and I was like, why is she sitting
6 foot distancing, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like we did everything we could to keep regulations to make sure to keep connection. Yeah. And that was a way for Stephanie and I to really keep connection with the community and let them know that here at Reclaiming Lives, we're not giving up. We're not going to lay down. We're not going to give up. We're going to be here Monday through Friday, sometimes later, business hours, and on the weekends too if we had to, because that was going to be a treacherous time for somebody. Other than that, like, that's about where my heart gets full. Like, at the end of these, we did another one, you know what I mean? Like we've had people from all the way to DC reach out to us, you know, from these. Like, we had a guy who his sister had a brother in prison, and then now he's part of the cafe, you know. Like, it's just reaching out to somebody, you know.
Let me tell you the reason why I asked you that, because you know, I told you earlier on the telephone when you called me, you know, I've met you the first time I met you was at La Clinica in Birch Grove. Do you remember?
That was the second time. The first time was at the Arc. But yes, that was the second time.
That was, and I love what you do.
Thank you.
And you do it so well.
Thank you.
And you know, you walk into a room and the place just kind of lights up.
Thank you.
Because you have an awesome personality. You love people.
I do.
And you love addicts. I love addicts.
As I said, not just people. I love addicts, man.
I love addicts. I told you, if I was stranded on an island, like, only two things I can have would be an endless supply of water and an addict.
Yeah,
that's it.
Because
we'll find a way to get out.
We adapt real well, don't we? We can pull ourselves out of the muck, and that's it. That's, you know, not to interrupt, but that's another thing is that when we can help one person find recovery, you know, people don't understand. You know, in the rooms we call normies, people that never suffered from SUD or OUD, or which is substance use disorder, opiate use disorder, or even alcoholism. Like, they don't understand that COVID can't keep us down.
No,
we've been living in COVID our whole life. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, you're right. Like, if I could have some water and an addict, dude, we'll figure it out, because we adapt real well. Like, and that's, you know, and that's why I love working with Stephanie, is because she is, you know, she's never suffered from addiction, but all she wants to do is help, and she doesn't give up. Together, we're pretty resourceful, and we move and we shake, and I'll be damned if we don't move and shake this whole community to understand that we're not going to give up on people.
Yeah. And I mentioned to you on the phone, I mean, the big reason why I'm here and part of Recovery Cafe is because of you.
Thank you.
I wanted to be whatever you're a part of, obviously it's making an impact in the lives of people, and I just want to partner with you, man. I want to be a part of whatever you got going on, and just kind of come alongside or
let's
take,
do it, man.
Take your lead, man.
Let's do it.
I respect you, and
that's cool. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. It's got me. This never happens, but I'm at a loss of words. This never happens, you guys.
Way to go! You turned the tables on him.
Good form. I'd like to thank you.
I thank you.
Yeah.
I'm humbled.
Yeah. You know, you stepped to the plate, took the challenge today. Usually we put your face on Facebook first, and then we have the interview the next day. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, we've pretty much been on this whole week. People commented on the picture you and I had on there. But I want to ask you one thing before we go. On the other side of that screen, there's somebody out there who is lost, who is broken, unsure of themselves, probably lost a little bit of confidence in their life, and all they need is just a glimmer of hope, a little bit of, not a little bit, I'm going to take that back, a whole lot of love. What would you say to them right now?
That you're, for one, that just know that, and you have to believe it in the core, to your core. You can change. You can make the change necessary. You don't have to live the life that you're living. And if you come alongside people who, like Brandon, who can love you and help you and be there for you when you feel like there's nobody there, we'll be there. We'll always be there. And you were designed for a higher purpose in your life, and you have to walk out of the darkness and into the light to do that. But you have to walk. I can't walk it for you. Brandon can't walk it for you. You have to do it. A lot of people say, "Oh, you did this for me. You did that for me." I didn't do anything for you.
You just walked alongside you while you did it.
Absolutely. It's on you, but you have to get to a point where you've stopped digging.
Yeah.
There's a portion of one of the stories in the back of the AA book that talks about how do you know you hit bottom. Well, you hit bottom when you stop digging.
Oof.
And that's the truth. And some of us like to keep digging, but when you get to the point when you're done and you've lost everything, your own self-esteem, your pride, everything else, your kids, all that, and you're ready to walk in, we'll walk with you.
Yeah.
And I'll carry your ass if I have to sometimes.
Yeah, don't have me do it. He's bigger.
So,
but no, we will, and I love that, Winslow. Thank you so much, and so much of what he says is absolutely true. We will love you until you can love yourself.
Amen.
We will be there for you, even when you don't know how to be. Don't give up on yourself, because we're not going to give up on you. It almost brings me to tears. We love you. We care about you. And surprise guest next week. All right, buddy. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you.
All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, comment. If you put this on your page, share it on your page. So the whole world can see what's going on right here at Reclaiming Lives Recovery Cafe. God bless.